Welcome back to the channel. So the last time we finished up this, made these keys and then finished up this crankshaft here, connecting rod for the crankshaft. So we got that finished up. So the next thing we need is a piston to connect to the end of it so we can start putting this together. So we'll get started on that now. So to make this piston, I think if you buy the actual kit from the mini steam, or when this kit was, this is again a Paul Breisch, so this is an older set of castings. When this was provided, it looks like from the pictures that I see there was a aluminum casting in there for the piston, but I did not get that when I bought these. I picked this up at a swap meet and it was missing. So I've got a piece of just aluminum bar stock here. It's a little bit over 3/4, but it's enough over that we can turn it down and get a good tight fit. So we're going to put this in the lathe and start with this. So we're going to bore it out in the center here. So there's some dimensions that it gets relieved in the center. And then we'll turn this down enough, should be able to turn this down enough to 3/4 so that I can hold it in a collet chuck. And then we can set it up and then drill through for the pin. And then it gets drilled through for an oiler, for the oil, so the oil will drip down onto the connecting rod. And then the plans call for no pistons on this engine, just a really, really tight fit to this cylinder, which I think would work, and there are some grooves in there. But I am going to run an O-ring on this piston. I've had good success with the O-rings in the past. So I've got here just a 3/4 inch O-ring. Ideally you would run a Viton O-ring. They seem to hold up a little bit better to the fuels that you're running. This is just a regular, I think it's a Buna N O-ring, so I might eventually replace it with the Viton, but I have run these O-rings in other engines and they do last a while. You just every now and then got to pull it out and replace it. So we will again turn this down to where it fits the cylinder good and bore this out, and then we'll cut a groove in there for the O-ring, and then we'll drill through for the pinhole and the oiler. And then once we get all that done, then we can part it off, and then I'll take some 3/16 drill rod and cut it to length to make the piston pin. And then we'll also need to set this up and then drill and tap through here. So there's 2 set screws that go in here that hold the piston pin in. So we'll get this set up in the lathe and start turning on it. Okay, so that finishes up the piston. So I started out with a solid piece of aluminum and turned it down. It just needed a little bit on the OD here to where it was a good snug fit in the cylinder. There's just enough there to where it will slide, but it's like half a thou to a thou. It's a good tight fit in there. So I turned that down on the OD, and then I drilled all the way through. There's not real good dimensions in the plans. Like I mentioned before, if you actually bought this casting kit, it came with a casting, an aluminum casting to make this piston out of. So I think some of this internal features here was already cast into it, but I didn't get that casting. So I started with a solid piece of aluminum. So I drilled this through 5/16, almost all the way to the end. This is about 1/8 of an inch thick here between the top and the drilling there. And then I counterbored it with an end mill, 5/8 to make these flats here, where there will be a set screw that goes in for the piston pin. And then I cut the ring groove for the O-ring. And that's a little bit of a trial and error. I did go back and go just a little bit deeper with it. So I would try the O-ring, and you don't want to go too far, because if you go too far, then it won't seal at all. But if it's got too much pressure, then it's too tight. So there's a little bit, like I say, a little bit of trial and error there. And if it's a little bit snug, it will run in some also, just a little bit. We'll get a little bit looser over time. So some trial and error there. And I left this stub on here, but I did go ahead and cut a groove in here about halfway down where I was going to part this off. So then I could put that stub that I have here into a collet block. Then I could drill and ream this hole here for the wrist pin, and then turn it 90 degrees, and then drill this hole here for the oiler, and then flip it up. And then where I had drilled the 5/16 hole, I had to come back with a 5/16 end mill and machine out these both sides here. That's for clearance for the small end of the connecting rod. So I took an end mill and just plunged it in and machined out this intersection here on both sides, and then drilled these holes here for the set screws for the wrist pin. I still need to tap these holes, but we can assemble everything and try it out for now. So then I took just a 3/16 drill rod and made a pin just to test fit everything. I will go back and drill out the center part of this pin here. Just drill a hole in it there to lighten it up a little bit. And then I may put a little bit of a flat, take a file or something and put a little bit of a flat on there where the set screw can sit against it. We'll get the O-ring on here and try everything in the cylinder. Make sure it's all going to work good. So that O-ring, if you put a flat edge on there, it should just ever so slightly set proud of that piston. And you can see there, it's just barely above it. Like I say, if you get it too tight, it's got too much friction to really want to get the engine to start and run. It's just a little bit too tight to overcome that. And if you get it too loose, then it won't make any compression or it won't draw any fuel. So this oil hole here is going to go to the top. There will eventually be an oiler in here, which will drip oil down onto the piston. And then through this hole here, it will drip oil and lube the pin and the small end of the connecting rod. So we'll get our wrist pin in here, get that started, and then get the rod in there. Get that all lined up. Get the pin started through here. So that just pushes in, and then there will eventually be 2 set screws in here that will tighten up against that wrist pin. And the overall length of this is just a little bit shorter. I ended up at about 730. Our bore is 750. You can't be all the way out at 750 because it'll be square on the edges and it'll rub the cylinder. So you want it just a little bit smaller than what the piston is there, just so that it's not rubbing on the cylinder wall. And then there is enough room to install this piston in from the back side here. So we'll push that in, bring it up here, and then get our cap on. The right way. Get our bolts in here. Get this snugged up here. And it don't have to be overly tight, especially for now. These are pretty tiny screws, so we don't want to strip anything. So I'll just snug that up a little bit. And then I like to leave it just a little bit loose, and then spin it over a couple times just to make sure that everything is aligned good. Then we'll just snug this up here, take the slack out of it. And everything seems to turn pretty good, rotate good. There's just a little bit of drag on that O-ring, but it's not so tight that it won't kind of free spin there. So we'll check it, put my thumb over the end of it here. And it does create suction. And it is pushing against it, making pressure. So that's sealed up good. It's making good pressure. Another thing we can check is just hold our thumb over this, and then when we rotate this, there should be a bounce. See how it wants to spin back? And that bounce right there, especially when you get the engine together and the valves and everything on there, that's a good way to check for compression, is just make sure that it sort of has a little bit of spring back there. That means that it's sealing up good. So I am happy with that. Like I say, we'll get those pistons, get that tap for the set screws on there, and then drill that pin out and get it to be hollow. But that's going to pretty much finish up the piston. And then that finishes up the entire first page of plans. We've made the base and the bearings and the cylinder, piston, connecting rod, the cylinder head, the valve guides, the rocker arm bracket, and then the rocker arm screw, the flywheels, and the gib keys. So that's a lot of machining. I don't know that we're necessarily halfway done, but that does complete the first page of plans, which we have an entire second page here that we will get to. So we already made the crankshaft off of this page, so we're a little bit ahead of the game. We still got a rocker arm, push rod, valves, keepers, springs, all of the points, system, the governor spool, the cutout arm. These are the governor weights, the cam gear, shaft, the actual cam and crank gear, timing gears here, and then the camshaft itself. So we still got a lot more to make and a lot more parts to come. But we're going to take a little bit of a pause on this project for at least a few weeks. So I am moving my shop. If you've ever moved anything, you know how long it takes and what a job that is to pack up all of the tools in the machines and get everything ready to move. And with precision machines, you've got to be careful moving everything. So we're moving to a little bit bigger shop, so can get some of my other tools out of storage, my welder and some other stuff, so we can do more exciting projects to come. But once I get everything set back up in the new shop and then get to where I can get back to machining, then we'll get back on this project and then continue on, and then hopefully pretty soon we'll get to hear it run. So thanks for watching.